On the dish this Christmas Eve morning and the seventh night of Hanukkah, Molly Yeh. As she says in her popular blog, "My name is Yeh. I celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, and 3 news years." In other words, it was the perfect time for Michelle to make the trek to the upper Midwest to see Yeh and her growing food empire on the farm.
Just across the North Dakota border.
Thank you.
In East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
This is the biggest wrap I've ever seen.
Is Bernie's. A cafe, market, and restaurant, and the new hip spot on Main Street.
Hi there. How are you doing? Nice to meet you.
It's not a place you typically find a bona fide celebrity foodie,
Is it for a Christmas present?
but that's where you'll find Molly Yeh,
Hi there.
greeting customers and in the kitchen,
Because I think that we should infuse it with fresh mint leaves.
Yeah.
tasting some of her signature confections.
So this is the peppermint pastry cream. And is there vanilla in it too?
Bernie's is the first brick and mortar for Yeh, a classically trained musician turned food blogger turned Food Network star.
It's Hanukkah.
It's shot right in her kitchen, where she was putting together a few of her favorite dishes from her latest cookbook, Home is Where the Eggs Are.
So we've got a little bit of everything here. This is matzah brai, a Jewish dish. I grew up with it. My mom makes the best matzah brai. This is the second best matzah brai.
And matzah brai is scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs with more textural excitement. You have something to chew on because you fold broken up matzah in with the eggs. And it's cinnamon sugar with a ton of nutmeg. And it tastes like you're eating a donut.
There's a hot dish inspired by life on the farm.
I don't know what a hot dish is.
So a hot dish is a subset of casseroles that has all of the food groups in it. Thank you.
I love the spoon.
Don't judge it by its look. You've got to have a big spoon to get all of the layers.
Hand-pulled noodles with pot sticker filling sauce, a nod to her Chinese heritage.
Really
like that.
thick, chewy noodles.
So you're not walking away from your table hungry.
Never. I mean, that is my biggest fear as a Jewish mother, is that anybody is walking away hungry.
Yeh's food is a reflection of herself. She was raised in Chicago, the daughter of a Jewish mom and Chinese dad, a clarinetist in the Chicago Symphony. Yeh was on track to follow in his footsteps, studying percussion at Juilliard in New York.
How did you transition to cooking? I mean, so you're not formally trained as a...
No, I've
cook?
worked in kitchens, and I grew up in a very musical household that also had a lot of good food because my mom was always cooking really good food. But when you play percussion and when you're in an orchestra, there's a lot of waiting around for your one triangle note or your one cymbal crash. And it was in those moments of rest where I started thinking more about food, and that's where I started the blog.
It was around this time she fell in love with a trombonist at Juilliard by the name of Nick Hagan. But it turns out music wasn't in the plans for either of them.
So Nick told me, he said, well, we have this farm.
You're like, do I want to be a farmer's wife?
I was like, yes,
Oh, really?
that's where I want to be.
You're digging it.
Yes. When we moved here, he went off to harvest and he was like, see ya. And I didn't see him for a good few weeks, and so I just blogged.
With her bright smile and colorful food pics, Yeh's blog took off.
You had an instant audience. Why do you think you connected with so many people?
I don't know, I wanted to be friends with everyone. And moving here, as much as I love it, I also have no idea what it would have been like if I had moved here without the internet. If I had moved here even 10, 15 years earlier. Even a year earlier, because when we moved out here, as we were driving out here, they were laying the cable for high-speed internet out to the farm.
Wow.
And so on one hand, it was, yes, it was my job, and yes, it was an amazing creative outlet. On the other hand, that was my social connection.
The blog led to a cookbook, Molly on the Range, then to a call from the Food Network,
They're so fluffy.
which launched Girl Meets Farm in 2018.
Look at the little kitty.
That's Oli.
Hey, Oli.
Ye took me out on the snow-covered range.
This is our field.
Where in warmer months, Nick grows grain, soybeans, and sugar beets.
Oh, so we're
Coming in.
going
So
to the
this is-
party.
We're going to the party. So this is where Nick works on all of the machinery.
And that must be Nick.
There he is. Hello.
In the off-season, he maintains the heavy machinery needed for modern farming, with help from his dad, who's passing on his family's farm to the 5th generation.
There's just some things that are almost bigger than yourself, and I feel like that's what this farm is.
Theirs is a very modern fairy tale.
So agriculture, it was sort of probably the first industry. Molly's business, it's so new. You know, if you think about the social media aspect of it or being in television, you just never would take that for granted, right? So 146-year-old farm meets 6-year-old blog, you know.
Please, 10.
Yeah, okay.
13,
Oh,
12.
excuse me.
Ye admits that she felt a bit like a fish out of water here at first.
Do you miss the big cities, Chicago, New York?
I miss deep dish pizza and New York slices. But for a day-to-day waking up and seeing this is energizing for me. This is where I like to come home to.
It's where she'll be celebrating the holidays, both Hanukkah and Christmas, with her family and, of course, her viewers.
Merry Christmas to us.
And ours.
Am I doing good?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
For the dish, Molly whipped up her version of a holiday classic, Halva Buckeyes,
Cheers.
Cheers.
made with one of her favorite ingredients, no less, tahini. And they're just as creamy.
The chocolate's my jam.
I love her. Molly, I'm with you.
great.
Christmas and Hanukkah. And our producer, Greg's wife, Christine, made us these Buckeyes.
Eat some Buckeyes, Dana.
Eat some Buckeyes. Wolverines eat Buckeyes for breakfast,
Oh,
baby.
boy.
Yeah.
College football playoff upcoming here. These are really good.
They're really good.
Oh, those are good. I can't say a Buckeye is good because that would be bad for